Here is a very quick guide to dealing with a broken crossfader in a Pioneer DJM-S9. There's some confusion as to whether or not replacement crossfaders are available for the S9. This is because every component of the crossfader is available separately rather than being a single monolithic unit like in most other mixers. The part that typically breaks is the metal stem of the slider. The part number for a replacement slider is DEA1052. I can't find anyone selling these online, but we can get hold of them for you, so give Atmosphere Lighting and Sound a call today. So firstly, we need to remove all the knobs from the lower section of the mixer. The rotary and Q slider knobs can simply be pulled off, but the line fader and crossfader knobs have a locking mechanism called P-lock to stop them coming off accidentally, and will probably break if you just try to remove them like a regular knob. To remove them the proper way, use a pointy object such as a ballpoint pen to push up on the white plastic part and then remove it. Next, remove the main body of the knob and finally the little plastic clip. It's all a bit fiddly, but these knobs really stay put even in the hands of the most clumsy turntablist. Once you have all three fader knobs removed, remove the 6 screws holding on the faceplate and put it to one side. Before you do anything else, remove the 2 bumpers at each side of the crossfader and put them somewhere safe. You'll lose them otherwise. It's also advisable to put a piece of tape over the spare bumpers to stop them falling out too. Unfortunately, in order to get at the crossfader, the line faders need to be removed. Each fader is held on with 3 screws. The middle screw is recessed about 1 inch down. The cable will also need to be removed, and then the fader can simply be lifted out. Once the other fader is removed, we can get the crossfader assembly. Start by unplugging the crossfader cable, and then removing the 2 small countersink screws holding the crossfader in. The feeling adjust knob at the front will also have to be removed. I've removed all the knobs in this unit, but you only have to remove the feeling adjust knob. The fader assembly can now be carefully extracted. To dismantle the assembly, remove the 4 screws, 1 at each corner. The fader then splits into 2 sections, the slider assembly and the electronics. Remove the top rail from the slider assembly by unscrewing the 2 countersink screws. The slider mechanism can now be removed and the rail removed from it. The part we need to replace is the slider itself, which is available separately from the rest of the assembly. The new slider doesn't come with this purple damper thing or the black friction brake, so they will have to be stolen from the old slider and then installed in the new one. Pay attention to which way round they go. Now we have to reassemble everything for testing. Put the top rail through the slider, move everything into position, making sure the slider correctly attaches to the bottom rail, and screw the countersink rail screws back in, making sure the slider can move freely. The fader goes together the same way it came apart, just join the 2 halves and put the 4 screws back in. After attaching its cable, the fader can just be slid back into place, and the 2 countersink screws put in. Finally, the line faders have to be reattached, and we can run an audio source through the mixer to verify the fader is working. Assuming all is okay, it's on to replacing the faceplate. Remember to put the fader bumpers back first though. Reassembling the P-lock knobs is basically the reverse of disassembling them. First, attach the grey plastic clip to the slider, making sure the little pin goes through the hole in the stem. Next, push the knob body onto the clip in the orientation shown. Finally, install the white plastic part again in the orientation shown. Then it's just a case of replacing the other knobs and we're golden. Don't forget the feeling adjust knob at the front.